and welcome back to Agritecture's travel-free digital conference series. I'm Alberto Lopez, Systems Engineer for Agritecture, and today we have Felipe Hernandez, CEO of Hexagro. He is going to present a distributed farming system inspired by nature. Felipe, welcome, and you can start sharing your screen.
Hello, Alberto. Thank you so much for the introduction, and thank you for this opportunity. I'm representing Hexagro. I'm the lead product development and founder. And we have a vision of allowing everybody anywhere to access healthy food by reconnecting to nature. Our objective is to create an indoor farming platform and follow a distributed farming model. This project started in Costa Rica in 2012 when we were talking to organic farmers that told us about the challenges they faced to produce the food they needed to sell, because they are struggling with changing weather conditions. Some of the adjacent farms continue using traditional farming methods. So because of the wind and air effects, residues of these toxins come to their farms. And most importantly, there is a supply chain problem. As we know, the value chain of fresh food is full of energy consumption and waste. So we tried to understand more into depth which was the problem. And we found that there was a growing industry, the vertical and indoor farming industry, that is proposing a solution based on technology to concentrate the farming process in closed environments with a lot of technology that can make plants grow very efficiently. This industry, as we all know, has been developing exponentially during the last years, but it faces scalability challenges because the time to launch these farms is quite long. It may last years, and actually the investment that you need to launch a vertical farm goes to the millions as well. So vertical farms are facing scalability challenges because of the cost that they need to cover, but also finding and hiring expert personnel, keeping a variety of the products that they can grow, because a lot of these farms are specialized in one or two crops. And they are also facing problems of value chain. So do we know a model that can provide abundance for everyone and try to implement collaboration in a distributed model? The answer is yes, and it's nature. Nature is doing this since 3.8 billion years ago, and our company is inspired by it. So we use biomimicry methods to design our solutions from a system point of view and also from a technical point of view. And we took inspiration from the honey bee and how it builds a lot of production centers of honey, let's imagine that, with the most efficient structures from nature. That's why they develop an hexagonal pattern, because they spend a lot of energy finding wax to build their honeybees. So it's very precious. And they fill environments to make it productive. And therefore, we took inspiration from these hexagonal patterns. But how can we fill a three-dimensional environment with this kind of two-dimensional pattern? Well, we found out that the three-dimensional cousin of the hexagon, is the truncated octahedron. And following a branch structure, like it happens with trees, we developed a system that can fill environments with plants. And in order to enter the market and start producing technology, we standardized our system into a biophilic configuration that resembles nature. So we created the living farming tree. It is a modular and scalable system that is presented in 3 different configurations. And with the same parts and the same technologies, you will have infinite possibilities of configuration. This means that our systems can adapt to any existing environment, and also 2 different crop types. You can even merge it with furniture. The first generation of products, which is the living farming tree, is already being offered as a service to companies and any indoor environment that can benefit from this kind of installation. And the next generation of products will be with a cube configuration that will have the feature of controlling the environment, and you can even merge it with furniture. So the living farming tree is composed of different technology. We have approach for exponential technologies such as LED lighting, 3D printing, and IoT devices. So we can control all the different parameters of the system remotely. Through the environmental sensors, we can measure all the relevant parameters for the plants. And following the automation of the web application, we can adapt the light spectrum to different crop types, because in each one of the farming trays that you see, you can grow a different plant with a different complete stage of growth. So it allows you to have a lot of flexibility in cultivation. And thanks to the implementation of aeroponics, we're able to create very lightweight structures with a fully modular design. So we can replace parts that are outdated, we can repair them very easily, we can exchange them to clean as part of the service. And let's say that the whole proposal in terms of design is following those principles. We are able to grow with this configuration leafy greens, aromatic, and microgreens. So they grow very efficiently. They have an incredible taste because you harvest it and you eat it right away. So it has the best, most fresh properties of the plant. And thanks to the use of high pressure aeroponics, we are able to save 40% of water consumption compared to conventional hydroponics. And in this technique, we are spraying a micro mist of nutrients and water directly to the roots, which allow us to be very precise on the nutrient dosing for the plants. So the plants get exactly the nutrients that they need. They propagate in the air with no mechanical resistance. And thanks to the high rate of oxygenation in the root zone, they grow healthier and more efficiently than with other methods. And all of this is controlled through IoT web application that is from one side controlled by the service. So we can change parameters, we can monitor the system, we can see a dashboard with the different data gathered by the sensors. We have all the library of the plants that we can grow. And from the other side, we have a user interface for the end user that is interactive, and basically it guides you through the cultivation process. So it teaches you how to take care of the system, how to take care of the plants, and we also are able to gather qualitative information that is not possible to gather through sensors. So how is the status of your environment? How are you feeling? How are the plants doing from a aesthetic point of view? All of this information, we are gathering it and interpreting it to offer to as an additional value to our clients. So through this gamified experience, we are able to engage users, teaching them and also allowing them to express their own creativity with the use of the plants. So the idea is to have kind of a Tamagotchi in which you have to take care of the system, you share some tasks with your colleagues, and of course you can share your experience in our online community. So at the moment we are about to industrialize the product. What you are seeing is not the finished product. We are piloting in Europe with some companies our service, and it has shown great results in terms of engagement, most importantly for visitors of the company that are impressed by these installations. They engage into this user experience, and they learn more about the company, about why is it so important for the company to do this. And we are also incentivizing companies to do activities around this, so workshops and other team bonding activities that can, of course, be related to the sustainability and well-being. It's not only an edible garden, it's also a decorative element, and it's a tool for HR managers that are looking for ways to monitor the ambient, the environment of the office, and they don't have available tools that can give them like a general panorama of the work environment. We are partnering up as well with the greenery service that, for example, install vertical green walls or indoor greenery, because they already have a large base of customers. So we train them, we make partnerships, and they are able to offer our own products as part of their catalog. And we keep, of course, the remote monitoring and resource supply that can empower them to grow efficiently. But there is another option. We are also developing a model for self-maintenance in order to allow providers out of our service regions to learn how to use the system. They can make these little maintenance tasks, and in this way, they're able to grow the plants efficiently. So it's also an educative approach. We teach them about the properties of the plants, how to take care of specific crop varieties, and how to use them. So in the end, we have a community that shares their experiences and of course can benefit from the properties of these fresh plants. And thanks to all of these investments that we have done in technology, thanks to our customers, to our community, we are now starting a social project in Colombia that is called Siembra Vertical, and it has the objective to democratize the accessibility to technology for sustainable farming. And we are supporting this project by transferring the technology and developing aeroponic systems that are meant for production. They are high yield, and they use the same technology as our systems, but they are meant for greenhouse cultivation. So we're able to create an impact, and these farmers can access this technology that otherwise wouldn't be possible. And we are developing also more simple configurations. For example, these pots that can be used vertically to grow a variety of food. So this is like a step that is easy for farmers to do, and is less risky, is less is not so different. So we're teaching them little by little that by changing practices, they can become more sustainable and have even more business opportunities. And our vision is that at some point we are going to reach the consumer market, and in that case, we want people to get rid of all of their useless furniture, so that they can make their own indoor environment productive and full of nature. So we want people to feel surrounded by nature, reconnected to nature through indoor farming. And thanks to this model, we are able to make a sharing economy through an online platform that can be supported by our service. So let's imagine a future in which we have producers that can bring you the small plants that you can put in your office system, but then when the plant is grown, you can take it to your house, and then you can share it with your family, with your friends, and you are going to know that you are supporting a farmer. And this is how we are envisioning creating an urban farming platform that can decentralize food production. So this is more or less a general overview of what we do. I would try to encourage you to follow us on our social media. Right now, we are sharing a lot of content of how to feel better working from home, using nature, doing farming. So keep an eye on us, and thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you for the presentation. I have a couple of questions, more to do with the user experience of the product. So now, yeah, I guess now it's really relevant technology for the current situation that we're at now. This product is, or at least the service experience is built more into, let's say, accessing offices and homes as well, or how does it work?
So at the moment, we are targeting more than anything offices, uh, commercial places, indoor environments that have a high visibility, because we are aiming to raise awareness of this technology. Very few people have seen these systems working and out there. So this service is not just a greenery service, it's not just a food service, it's also an experience. And the valuable thing about the experience is that we can engage our users in an educative experience. We can provide them an additional value that is learning how to become the urban farmers of the future. And thanks to our gamification approach, we are going to create a very diverse community of people that are using the systems in different ways. So it's also about trying to scale up these experiences into sub experiences, for example, for education, for a restaurant, for gastronomy, for farming, to be able to create more uh, urban farmers.
Okay, yeah, this is something that it's currently, well, it's not a debate. It's just two lines of how the future may look. So basically, we have like the distributed model, which you are talking about, and the centralized model. You said
Mhm.
about the centralized model that they have labor cost, like high labor cost, they lack in variety. What are
Mhm.
the differences, let's say, or what are the advantages, or how do you compare the distributed model with the centralized model? Do you think there's more yield optimization in the centralized model against like, uh, let's say, the distributed model serving as a platform to engage more people with agriculture?
Sure. Thank you for the question. So, as I mentioned in the beginning, centralized operations have scalability challenges. So, starting from the time to launch that you require is so much faster that to install one of our systems than building infrastructure, that actually a lot of costs could be saved using existing environments in cities and using people in cities, because urbanization is growing. People are going to live in cities, and they lack the presence of nature. So we want to leverage this issue to overcome the challenge of finding expert personnel. Because if we can teach a lot of people how to do farming, of course, powered by technology, we will be able to get overcome this problem. Also, for example, about the variety of production, our systems are able to produce in each tray a different crop type. So you can imagine that if you have a lot of systems, you can also have a lot of variety that is driven by the market, that is driven by demand. And to finish, I also think that just the awareness that having a direct contact with this activity, that can be a driver for a community to try to push these practices and to try to consume even more of these products. So I think there is not a perfect solution. I think it's a mix of a lot of solutions, and I think that centralized models together with distributed models can work. So we're also looking for ways to partner up with vertical farming companies that are able to integrate to our distributed farming model.
That's like, I think it's a really interesting topic, the comparison between like the centralized model and distributed model towards the future. So this will be a really nice question to pose. So what do people think? Like whoever is watching, what do you think will be the future of urban farming? If it's a combination of both, or what will be what will be the future of the systems in urban farming? Yeah, this is a really nice question for the viewers. What do you think is the future of urban agriculture? People having their own personal gardens, or a centralized farm that can fit the city? Do you think there is room for both?
Sure, that's a question that I think everybody is asking themselves at the moment. We're in Milan, we're based in Milan, and our team, of course, has been affected by the situation. Our operations have been affected. You can imagine that we had to stop our service for our corporate clients because the offices closed, people are working remotely. So we decided to take this situation as an opportunity instead of being another victim, right? So the first thing that we decided to do was to try to help in any way possible our followers, our audience. So at the moment we are sharing in our social media uh, why is it so important to reconnect to nature, which is the added value of being able to grow your own food, how our fresh food supply chain is being threatened by this kind of crisis, because if there is a problem in one of the blocks of the value chain, it's a mess. So we are now trying to assess if we can go closer to the people that we want to impact with the same service. So at the moment, we are very interested to create new partnerships. We are trying to understand if we can go to the real estate sector to offer the service directly where people live. So imagine having in your residence, in your condominium, one of these installations that you can share with your neighbors. You can rent it and you can access this food directly from your home. But we will continue with the service model. We don't think that is the best approach to provide this kind of technology as a sell, a direct sell, but that option is still there, and this is why we're trying to test different things to understand how is the market going to develop after this crisis. But definitely we see a big opportunity ahead of us. This crisis is making a lot of people think about what's really essential and important in life, and one of those things is food.
Yeah, that's basically what my mother used to say. People have to eat, Alberto. So people always have to eat. So let's see how this will impact the distributed model for urban farming. Thank you very much, and it was a really great presentation. And yeah, we will keep out the look for the company.
Thank you so much, Alberto, for your time as well and your interest. Again, I hope that everybody can get more close to this topic of farming, and I really appreciate the effort of Agritecture to do this online series. I think it's a great way to support the sector. So keep it up, guys, and I hope to see more interviews which are very interesting. So thank you so much.
Perfect.